This is Vince Blaney from North Lake Physical Therapy. We're getting ready for spring and summer running and cycling, so time to dust off the bike, maybe get your running shoes out from the closet. We're not going to be so bundled up. It's going to be actually a little warmer. So part of what we want to go through is a body warm-up, a dynamic warm-up that's appropriate for those summertime sports. The idea of this is to not strain. The idea is by the time you're finished this program, you feel loosened up. We're not trying to sustain stretches, we're trying to activate muscle groups. First one we're going to start with is a calf stretch, hamstring stretch. It looks similar to a downward dog, but you don't have to be as high up in the hips. You can be a little bit more forward. Pressing back, getting a stretch through the hamstrings, and we're pulsing our heels to the mat. We're counting 10 times. We don't need to spend a lot of time here. Trying to keep shoulders back and down to engage our mid-back and less up by our ears. We move through that position. We come back up to standing. We'll go into a sumo squat. So we turn our toes out. We go into a squatted position. I place my fingers just lightly underneath my toes to create an opening in my hips. My arms are gently pressing out against my knees. Exhale, come up into a gentle stretch through the low back and into the hamstrings, and back down into the squat. And we're going to do that 10 repetitions, making sure that we're breathing through each of those motions. You can alter your leg position to be more narrow or wider depending on comfort in the hips. We're going to go into a reverse lunge, keeping our torso upright. We're going to place one hand on the outside of our front leg. That's going to assist us in rotating, allowing our neck to rotate, thoracic spine, and our shoulder. In this, you're going to get an engagement in your core, your shoulder, and certainly in your legs. Return back. Feet come together. Reverse the position. Torso up tall. Hand goes to the front leg, presses to the outside, rotating, finishing with the arm. Once you get used to that position, you can do this with a little bit of speed and create more of a dynamic movement. And just doing 10 repetitions. Continuing in a lunge pose, we're going to keep this back knee off the ground. We're going to take my elbow, slide it on the inside of my leg, bringing it down to or close to my ankle. Feeling a stretch through the hip flexor, feeling a stretch through the backside of my hamstring and hip here. Chest up. Transition, hands down, bring feet together. Go back into lunge. Elbow slides to the inside. Once you get comfortable with doing that, we can increase the pace, making this more of a dynamic warm-up. Okay. Next movement we're going to do is an exercise that's going to put us onto our stomach. It's called the scorpion. This is going to be a stretch for the hip flexors, the shoulder, and the low back. If you have any low back pain, any history with low back dysfunction, this is an exercise you want to skip. Arms out wide, raising one leg up, rotating to achieve a touchdown. My head is looking away from the leg that's touching on the ground. And repeat, other direction. Staying on the ground, we'll rotate to our back. Continuing this mobility for the low back. Arms out wide, knees together. lower trunk rotation. Let the legs just gently fall to the side, trying to maintain a stacked position. You'll get a stretch through the low back. Perform this 10 times. Okay, back to standing. We're gonna finish with a hip opener. This works on some balance. It works on bringing our posture up tall and certainly some mobility for the hip. Raising the leg, open the hip, still trying to keep our pelvis somewhat aiming forward. Rotate the hip back. Transition, raise the leg to 90 degrees, open, close. Once you feel comfortable with the pace, we can open and close with a little bit more of a faster movement to make this a dynamic exercise. This can be done before workout, this can be done after workout, or both. Have fun this summer.